Hey guys, this is NewName4505 here for another SO moveset. And today we have a special bulky Dragonair, and there probably are some better special walls in you, but I think this is just a different way to play Dragonair, since most people try and use decent natural bulk with you violate to abuse Dragon Dance, which is probably good for an offensive team. But looking at I've been saying Dragonair this whole time, haven't I? Dragonair's, sort of stall play. I think it could be a pretty trolly stall poke. So, on to explaining the moveset. As one of the three really good dragon types in NU, it pretty much has a really good type coverage for a wall. There's not very much other than Jinx and offensive Chirogonal are its two primary threats, and then its two other threats are on the physical side are Fracture and Suelos, but with Hustle, Suelos' Outrage is pretty unreliable, and it's easy just to make a switch into a physical wall, like Leiron or something else like that for both of them, since unfortunately Dragon Tail gives you -1 priority. But for Chirogonal and Jinx, that's why I choose to have the extreme speed there, because I think Dragonair and Linoon are the only two Pokemon that get extreme speed in NU, so that's a really helpful thing to have with the +2 priority. And let's see, I have a lot of different options because there's a lot of different ways to run it. So this EV spread is pretty much the EV spread that I recommend. Just so it's a special tank. I have the 4 the 4 things in speed there because of the fact that Chirogonal, for example, has a really nice special stat. And other than the fact that Chirogonal has Piss Defense and an extreme speed from, say, a Dragonair could probably take it out, because Dragonair has much better all-around defenses, especially since it has the Violate. That's one reason to run it over Chirogonal, but another reason is that it has some decent speed to go along with the +2 priority move, and Thunder Wave to cripple speedy things. So anyway, it has Shed Skin as its primary ability, and then Marvel Scale as its Dream World ability. Both are pretty nice, and if I remember correctly, Marvel Scale gives... let me just look this up really quick, actually. I can't believe I'm doing this without knowing what a Marvel Scale is. Alright, let's see what Snowgun says. Boosts defenses by 50% when hit by a status move. Alright, so that could actually be really useful, because obviously it takes a status move and then it rests it off, and then while it's asleep it's bulky as hell. Or if you just get paralyzed, that would be even better, since even though one of Dragonair's selling points is its decent speed as for a wall, which is another selling point of like one of the Eons or something, like Leafeon or Flareon, that's another thing that kinda outclasses it. But once again, Dragonair just has a really great defensive typing, especially for its tier, since there's only like 5 or 6 pokes that can deal threats, and for all of them, for Jinx and Chirogonal, since they have Piss defenses, extreme speed's pretty good for them, which is why I recommend it, but you don't have to have it. And then obviously its primary ability is Shed Skin, which is probably what I would recommend, because looking at all the sets, really for if you run Extreme Speed, Thunder Wave, Dragon Tail, and Attract, which is, in my opinion, the most trolly set, if you get a status like Toxic, Shed Skin has a 30% chance of getting rid of that. So without rest, Dragonair does not have reliable recovery, so unless you get a Wish Pass from something, it's not going to be recovering to any health. So yeah, the Shed Skin will help it with like a Toxic or something. And that's also why it's a good idea to have rest, because you can either run the Marvel Scale, which gives you the huge defense boost while you're asleep, and then once you wake up, you know you got your status problem away and you're at full health and stuff. Or you can run the shed skin and hopefully you can get rid of the rest, you know, while you're snoozing. So that's another great thing to have. And then obviously if you feel that the +2 priority might not be useful to you, you can obviously run a rest over extreme speed if you want to have the attract down there to control with Pair of Love or something like that. You know, or if you still want to have the +2 priority, I think that the paralysis is more important than getting the attract off on something, so I would definitely keep Thunderwave and Dragon Tail on there, because Dragon Tail is also really good for phasing. Because, okay, so that's pretty much what this thing does, and, you know, what are its main problems and things that can do its job better. Even though I do really like the Dragonair, just its typing. I mean, if you were to try and do this in, like, UU, where there's that little seahorse out there that calls itself a dragon named Kingdra, or in OU, where every other poke is a dragon type, this thing would get thrown in the trash can, taken to the dump, and then put on the bottom pile of the dump. But in NU and maybe RU, this thing can pretty well do its job well, just because of its typing. That's probably its biggest selling point over another special wall like Flareon or Kyrogadol. And yeah, things that it goes with, probably its biggest thing other than paralyzing fast things like Sock or something along those lines, that a Choice Scarf Sock or anything like that, that's pretty fast. It can stop. And then obviously with the paralysis, and then, you know, if you want to run attract, because almost people are lazy and make almost everything male, you know, make it female, and then, yeah, which is why I always recommend carrying at least one female poke to stop the rare attract user from completely trolling your team. And then, you know, it has to have some support there, you know, maybe a Wish Passer, like a Cleric or something, to help with recovery, even though if you do one rest, that's not really necessary. Or, it definitely needs hazards up to be used to its full effect, with phasing out with Dragon Tail. That can really help this Dragonair set a lot. If you try and have a lot of those hazards up, that helps it out a ton. Losing thought here. Oh yeah, like I said earlier, how because it is a completely dedicated special wall and it has no physical investment, you could change the EVs around a little bit to add some physical investment if you want. Take away from like HP or special defense or something, or maybe change the speed to defense or speed to attack or something. I don't know. Those are just the EVs. The EV spread that's the EV spread that I like. Damn, can't speak freaking English. But yeah, you could try and do that to give it at least a bit of physical help. But I think that its main purpose is to take things from the special side, and that if it has to take a hit from the physical side, that the boost that it gets from Eviolite plus the fact that it's running max HP is good enough to take at least one. But it needs a physical wall to go along with that. But yeah, it just needs, if you're not going to run rest because you want to troll to your maximum ability as well as have a +2 priority move. And then a cleric like Leafeon, or probably Leafeon, since why would you have a Flareon? That's a cleric if you already have a Dragonair. To help you out with that. And hazard support up plus a physical wall to help take things from the physical side. But one of the best things that I like about this Dragonite set is Magmortar. And Magmortar is huge threat in NU from... It's actually, well, it's a huge threat in RU too, but it's a huge threat out there. And this thing pretty much walls Magmortar. It's probably one of the... When you ask a person, what's a good counter for Magmortar? I don't think very many of them would say Dragonair, but first of all, Dragonair resists its stab, and unless it's carrying like HPS, HPS really isn't the most powerful move. Most of those things are Scarf, so T-Wave pretty much cripples it, and then, yeah. You could also say that Flareon's a good counter for it too, but, I don't think Flareon can T-Wave it and pretty much render it I wouldn't say Magmortar would be useless after it's paralyzed, but it would be pretty slow, and something like a Life Orb Samurott or something could just come in and finish it with like a waterfall or a Hydro Pump or whatever. But yeah, this is, No Name 4505, and this is my second SO moveset here. Bulky Dragonair. I think it's a pretty good thing. I like it. I haven't used it yet, so leave in the comments what it is. Or, no, yeah, frig, I still can't speak that English. If you use it, how it works in battle, and how it compares to more common things that are dedicated special walls like Flareon. But, yeah. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe. I really narrated this really bad because for whatever reason today I just can't seem to speak English. I haven't done a battle in a while now. Maybe next time I do a battle. Since I've been playing a lot of NU and UU lately, I might use this Dragonite. Dragonair. Because, yeah, just based on the looks of it, it looks pretty nice. Especially with Dragonair's typing. That's one of the things that I like about it the best. And, yeah. Peace anyways, despite my bad narration.